Okay, so I got this radio apart. It wasn't that hard to take apart. I mean, it was really relatively easy. I mean, all you need is a few basic tools, some iFixit stuff from cell phone stuff will take it right apart easily. This little tool here is your best friend. I've had this thing for like 5, 6 years now. Ordered it off Amazon years ago. It came with a little wattage and SWR tester for my 2 meter 440 Chinese radios. So anyways, I'm no master technician. I do this for a hobby. I want to make very clear, I might say some wrong things. There are some master radio technicians out there. I'm not one of them, but again, I do this for a hobby. Okay, so here's what I found. I've had, and I know you're not supposed to touch with metal components, but here we go. I've had these TYT radios where like these power transistors are bloated, or these transformers, these microcontrol processors, these little microchips are bloated, and they've sent me new ones, and I've soldered them in the radio, and it sort of fixed it, but it was still junk when I got done. I do have a hot air rework station. I can do it. Okay. I'm no professional, but like I said, I do what I can as a hobbyist. So I'm not afraid to take apart my own radios. I'm not afraid to modify them. I'm not afraid to, go through the software, change parameters, but I always, always, always pen and paper. I record everything, values. I take pictures so I can set everything back. I record everything on the oscilloscope. I know all my leads are put away up there inside that box. I know I need to clean up here, so I need to do something with my life, like get in the goddamn service instead of messing around with these Chinese junk radios. I need to get my ass going and start making some money, and instead of fooling around with this shit, because I'm 34 years old. I need to do something with my life. I mean, I love this stuff as a hobby. For my dad, it's great because he's retired, but for me, I got to move on with life. But I also love learning about this stuff too, and this stuff takes all freaking day. You can't learn about this stuff in 5 minutes. It takes like your whole life to learn about it. So anyways, I was thinking about taking it apart further, removing these screws, showing the backside of it. I got to remove this protective. Oh no, I think those screws are above, so I can get to them no problem. Doing this through the camera. So far I'm not really seeing anything. I'm looking at it through the phone. I'm not seeing any bad. Oh, the only thing I noticed was this right here. I did notice that right there doesn't seem to have enough solder. If you can see it right there in the corner, seems like it's a little bit deficient on solder, like it just didn't fill the pad all the way, but those don't look to be shorting, but just in case they are. Sometimes I've had radios to where these short across, and that causes issues, but it seems to be receiving fine. I should probably get a finer instrument. I do have much finer instruments here. I do have something like this I could use, but I know my room is a mess right now, so I do have some SMD. I'm doing this through the camera. Don't worry, there's no power to the radio. Shouldn't really be scraping the board like this, but there we go. Just to make sure they're not shorted. Okay, I think we're fine. So, anyways, yeah, I think this radio is a loss. It's probably more than likely. Oh, I did adjust the modulation and the drive, the audio and the modulation, what they call the envelope. I did play around with these two. Obviously, it made no difference made no difference. So I just set them back, and don't worry, I marked them. I set them back in place. I figured, well, the radio's already screwed, so why bother setting it up to an oscilloscope? I could set the values back to exactly how it was. It still does the same thing. So, but I do notice when I talk with it out of the case, it does clear up a little bit. So obviously, this magnet here, it's got some shield. They need to better shield these components. These components, don't worry, there's a lot of room here, so don't worry. These components need to be shielded, so they need to invest in some shielding, or move these components to the back side of the board. I don't know. They can do that. It probably costs, they have to redesign everything. But anyways, well, that's the video, and yeah. So very, very disappointed in this radio. I'm gonna look into it further. Maybe it's something in the software, in one of the driver chips, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but see, I would imagine this right here is the audio processing chip because it's closest to the microphone. Again, I'm no radio expert. I don't have a schematic on this radio. I wish I did, but you guys can take a screenshot of it. Of course, pretty sure those are power transistors, because I know those are voltage constant current. You don't touch those. You only touch the audio section. So I played with it and I couldn't get it to do it. Again, I'm no master. The more I talk, the more dumb you realize how stupid I am when it comes to electronics. But anyways, and I really don't have all day to fool around with this stuff because I have a life. I just need shit to work out of the box. But I do learn a little bit by dickering around with Chinese-made garbage. But I bought this radio because I thought it'd be a cool radio to go alongside my 2 other CB radios. Be cool to have a CB walkie-talkie. And well, I ended up going with a Uniden and buying 2 HH50 Cobras because they work right out of the box. And you don't have to touch the modulation or the carrier on them. You don't have to. The one thing I like about the Uniden is that everything is software menu driven. So you write down the values, whether it's C1102, and on the Uniden, when you're going down, it goes up, and when you go up, it goes down. It's backwards. It's a software-driven resistor menu, so that's what you want to call it. They have so many different names for electronics, I get lost. But again, I'm no expert. I do what I can. Maybe I got to go take care of my friend Doughboy. It's about time for me to go over there and caretake him. So I'm just going to go ahead and slap this radio back together. It's no different, but in about the next 20 minutes, I got to leave here and go take care of my friend Doughboy because I've been taking care of a disabled person every day, cleaning up after him. So because I need the money. So because I did make a little bit of money repairing radios and kind of fooling around, and no complaints. Again, I'm no expert, but I do the best I can. I learn off of YouTube the best I can. I know how to solder, desolder. I know how to do SMD. I know how to do rework. Very good at this. I know how to record parameters. I know how to save, set, function, scroll, vertical, horizontal. I know how to zoom in, zoom out, see the waveform, pulse width modulation, trace cursor, sinusoidal wave, pick the different types of measurements. I get that. I understand that. Again, I'm no expert. I did not go to school for this. This is all home. I do this as a hobby, and I learn a lot. So anyways, and I learned about ground planes and 1-to-1-to-1 SWR VSWR ratios and vector network analyzers and Smith's charts, this thing has a Smith's chart on it, which I played around with it a couple of times. And you can watch YouTube videos. This one's the VNA-F, I believe. This one is, the VNA, Nano VNA, very tiny handheld vector network analyzer. So this one I played around with it a couple of times, and you have to calibrate it. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how to calibrate this stuff and play with it. There's also videos on YouTube that I've only used these things like 5 or 6 times since I've had them. You need differentials and attenuators and dummy loads to hook up to them, so you don't blow the front ends out on these things, because it's very important. And frequency, span, amplitude are like the main thing that you use on this. So anyways, you set your frequency, set your voltage, you set your dB, dBi, millivolts, whatever scale you're using, whatever it is, whatever circuit that you're measuring. Again, I'm no expert. I hardly use these at all. This one's my signal generator. I think I've only used this thing like twice. Arbitrary waveform function, generator. I think I've only used it like twice to inject a 1200, 1000 kilohertz signal on circuits that I was working to tune them up. I just did them because I didn't have no books on anything, so I just do everything by the way YouTube shows. And again, I'm no radio expert, but I'm not trying to sell myself because I don't even have time to do this. I need to be over at my friend's house helping him, and I'm actually taking time away from helping him to fart around with this Chinese radio that should have worked straight out of the box. So yeah, so this is the garbage that you deal with when you buy Chinese radios. This is the crap you deal with. So am I disappointed in QIT? You betcha, because I shouldn't be having to do this. But on the plus side, I'm learning. I'm definitely getting a hard knock education in electronics, but I'm definitely no expert. And of course, I probably said some wrong things on the components. Please correct me down in the comments below, blah, blah, blah. Share, subscribe, flip me off, whatever. I don't give a shit. But anyways, I got to go take care of Doughboy. I'm hungry, and yet I don't want to eat. When I take care of this guy, I've been losing a lot of weight, because I don't want to eat around this guy because he's a bigger gentleman. All right, anyways, I've run my mouth too long. Let me shut up. Let me upload the video. And I normally don't talk this much. I'm getting it out of my system because when I'm by myself, I'm quiet. I'm the guy in the corner who sits in the corner reading a book. So anyways, or playing with a radio, scaring all the women. But some women like that. They come up to me. It's weird. Anyways, so all right. Anyways, so yeah, that's my video. And yeah, shame on you, QIT. Shame on you, QIT, for sending this defective radio out of your factory. I was kind of hoping to find like something I did notice is right down here, real quick before I end the video. if I can show it. Right down here, it looks like they just drew a resistor. This could be part of the problem. It looks like there's supposed to be a potentiometer here. So what they did is they just put a resistor there. And so my thought was the radio is acting like it's starving for power. That could be the problem right there. It's just a design flaw, and they're all like this. It receives okay, but when you go to transmit, it's like it's 2 volts down from where it needs to be. It's like it's starving for power or has a bad resistor somewhere. And of course, you got to take every component out. You got to test it. You got to ECR and LCR, which I have a couple of them in there. I got to pull them out. And it takes all freaking day to fix one damn radio because I'm slow and I don't do it every day. I do this like once or twice a month, you know, and the rest of the time I'm working trying to earn money. So anyways, that's my video. Let me shut up. I've talked enough, and hopefully I didn't say too many F-bombs. Well, that's my video. Eagle 1, Kingman, Arizona. You know where to find me, 27.1850, 27.1450, and 462.5625, channel 1 on my simplex repeater. All right, catch you later.